And welcome to the Next Guy Up podcast. This is Messing Around Mondays. This is attempt number 2 to record this pod.
Yeah.
You definitely didn't hear part 1 or attempt number 1 because it accidentally got deleted. So here we are. We, for those of you out there that are not us three, I guess, we recorded about 20 minutes of the pod. One of our internets went out. He will not be named on this podcast except for it was Tinsley.
It was me.
And he was so the platform we were using turns out it accidentally got deleted. And so here we are. We had a nice dress rehearsal for the first about 20 minutes here. And so this is going to be the most excellent podcasting experience you ever had, guaranteed. But we are going to just have our full show today. We are going to be doing some press releases here in a second. We have a brand new segment. Mason is premiering today. We did not get to this, so this trivia is still fresh.
Yes.
Tinsley and I still have not heard the trivia yet. So we have a History with Mason segment coming up. Mason, would you call yourself a historian? Someone who's a lover of history?
Huge history guy, huge historian, know all things history. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to drop some knowledge on you guys.
If there's one subject Mason is passionate about, it's history. So
It's
I was
true.
like,
Yep.
Mason, we need this on the pod. And so Mason has going to start coming up with some history trivia things for Tins and I. And I think that'll be a fun segment. And then wrapping up, I think one of our most successful draft series, like this is definitely I think our drafting and some of this segment is coming into form. We are wrapping up our candy draft. I think you guys we've enjoyed getting to talk to you guys about the candies. We picked making fun of us at times saying who you think is the best. We've had a lot of interaction, which is what we always want on this type of stuff. So let us know today. We are wrapping up our candy draft with part 3, which is the worst Halloween candies. So we've spent the last 2 weeks drafting the things that are our favorites. We have chocolates and non-chocolate favorites candies. Now we are exposing the worst Halloween candies that everyone has received in trick-or-treat bags and things over the years. So I think that'll be a really fun one as well. But we are obviously doing this candy draft because we are pretty close to Halloween. We are just from Monday, a week in one day. So it's coming up. Do you guys particularly like the Halloween season? Do we like the scary stuff? Do we like horror movies, things like that? You guys into that?
I'm not really into horror movies. I like to get some scary paranormal movies every now and then. But not a big fan of anything with a lot of gore. I'm not a super big fan of fall. I don't know, like all the
season.
The season, yeah, all the different kind of fall foods and decorations and stuff. I'm more of a summertime kind of guy.
I thought you were a big pumpkin spice guy.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about
Mason,
that?
shut it.
Shut up.
We all know where you stand on the pumpkins.
Are we not a fan of opening up the windows, turning the AC off, and just saving money on electric and having that good like breeze of the outdoors and the smell? That's my favorite thing. Because once it gets in the winter, you can't do that because then it's too cold. But I take that back.
Good.
When we were at Zach's house, when we were in high school and college, it'd be negative degrees. It would literally be single digits. And we would have the windows open. We called it a freeze out or something. We literally have the windows open. It'd be freezing.
Yeah. You had to get air, let the air out of there every now and then.
Yeah.
You know? Cool it down.
That's the other thing too. I don't like the cold whatsoever.
Tins hates cold big time.
You know what's coming around the corner, so you dread the season beforehand just because of winter.
Yeah, winter for me growing up was 60 degrees, so I'm not a fan of this up here. When I was a small child.
You're from Florida. We get it.
One of the smallest cities in
Jacksonville. Yeah.
So I was not, to answer your question, Zach, I was not raised on scary movies.
Yeah.
That was not a big thing. We actually talked about it in our practice run that we just had.
Yeah.
But I watched The Hills Have Eyes when I was a teenager with some friends, and spoiler alert, If you've never heard a story about me crying, this will be the first one, not the last one, though, because there's several stories. What did we say? Stories of me crying, or what did you say, Zach?
Every Mason story either ends with him in tears or him throwing up.
One of the two. So, not a huge like scary movie person. I was challenged to watch Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, and that's all I could do. So just not, that's
wow.
Hocus Pocus,
crazy.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are my Halloween Town.
I love a Halloween Town. That was a banger back in the day.
So
I mediumly enjoy whenever it becomes this time of year and I drive through my neighborhood. I live in kind of like I don't know, it kind of looks like your traditional neighborhood vibe. And so when I drive through and the leaves are changing and falling, it gives me a big like Halloween vibes, like you're driving through, and it makes you feel like you're in one of those classic kind of horror movies. It's pretty fun. It makes me feel, it feels very Halloweeny.
Do your neighbors decorate pretty good for the outside, like for Halloween and stuff? I've got a few neighbors that
Not
are
a lot.
gone all out. It's a lot.
I do like how the big statues and stuff have come around. It's kind of an entertaining, like the humongous skeletons and stuff in the the 15-foot skeletons in the front yard, and then the inflatables and stuff. I think it's pretty fun. I'm not opposed to it. We don't have a ton of decorations, just like mild decorations in the neighborhood, like some colorful like purple lights and things. Nothing nuts though.
Nothing nuts. Yeah, somebody's got a few of those big skeletons, and then they've got which one is it? Michael Myers with the knife. And it scared me the first night I was driving the UPS at 3 in the morning and see a statue-looking character of someone holding a knife. I was like, "Oh, am I needing to call the police? Like, what is going on?" Turns out it's just a decoration.
It is if he catches you off guard, it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's a lot, but
that's pretty fun. You guys have a lot of trick or treaters in your neighborhood?
So we've never been distributing
candy.
We've never been here on the night of Halloween. As long as we've lived in this house, we always like go to our church's like Halloween things, and then we go see like your parents and Morgan's parents and stuff. So I don't really know. All the kids that are in my neighborhood are getting older now, so I feel like it's we should have some candy for trick or treaters. I think I'm gonna just put a bowl out and say, "Here you go, have at it."
And then one little punk like middle schooler's gonna come up and take all of it.
Take all of the candy,
without a doubt.
Well, we're first time home buyers, and so this will be, we're going to find out. I know we've talked about in the past, Zach buying too much candy. I feel like we're going to end up having that problem, I think. Well, I think we'll do one bag, and then we'll just end up seeing what happens from there on out for the, we're not really sure what will happen though. So,
yeah.
Interesting.
So why don't we go ahead and jump into press release? Mason, are you officially skipping a press release?
My press release segment is going to be replaced with the history with Mason.
Okay.
Spoiler, he did it earlier. He didn't think it was very interesting, so he's cutting it out.
Well, I was talking about Halloween movies that came out this year, and with us just discussing, scary movies specifically. So with us discussing me not being a scary movie guy, why would I do, a segment about
Mason's press release was about scary movies, but then he says, I don't like scary movies. It just turned into a very interesting segment. So my press release has to do with a TV show that's coming out next year. It's near and dear to a lot of our hearts and to a lot of people our age's hearts, I think, and that is the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Has a live action adaptation coming out of the TV series next year in 2024. So they've been releasing stuff little by little information. This is being done by Netflix. and they had released a small teaser trailer that was just showing kind of some of the different elements. And then they have started releasing some pictures of some of the characters that are the most prominent. They released a couple of the prominent Fire Nation characters, and there were a couple of notable names in that list. I have a couple of them here. The first one who is pretty notable on that list is Paul Sun Hyung Lee as Uncle Iroh. I recognize his face, and he was on the sitcom Kim's Convenience for a while, which I never really watched, but I knew what it was. But he's also pretty recently been in the Star Wars universe on the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and The Mandalorian as Captain Carson Teva. So he's a pretty big name that is in the show attached to and in a pretty big part, which is pretty cool, I think. And then another, the guy who's playing Fire Lord Ozai is Daniel Day Kim, who's been in a lot of stuff, but most famously, he was in the Divergent series, and he's also in Lost. That was kind of where he made his name, was as Jin on Lost. So pretty big actors, pretty big names. He's been in a lot of stuff recently, so I'm pretty excited about it. I think. Did you guys watch the movie adaptation that came out a few years ago?
Yeah, it was not good. It did not do justice to the cartoon series at all.